So we're going to talk a little bit about why we started DIY Hemi. And the answer is very simple. It's for people like you, people like me. In the past, when we really gained interest in these cars, I was a young guy out of school working in South Texas. I knew I loved the E-body. I knew I wanted to do a Gen 3 Hemi swap, but the information was just very scarce. I scoured the internet. LS was everywhere, and actually was formerly an LS speed shop mechanic. Worked a lot in that field, and I knew how beneficial it was to have a modern powertrain in a classic car. And that really had me thinking. I fell in love with the Mopar brand. I fell in love with the passion behind it and everything that's involved around some of these great cars. And I knew that we deserved the same thing: the drivability, the reliability, and just the simple pleasures of having a modern vehicle powertrain in your old car. So when we were exhausting our research, my friends and I was looking tirelessly to try to figure out how to do this, there really wasn't a source out there to do those things, to tell you, to coach you through what needed to be done to make it happen. LS was everywhere. It was explosive, and I knew that if someone had to do it, it might as well be us, and that's what we did. We went ahead and tirelessly researched factory wiring diagrams, service manuals, diagnostic manuals, and got a better understanding of what it takes to put the modern powertrain into a classic vehicle, or a vehicle that didn't have that powertrain to begin with. And we wanted to share it. We wanted to openly share it with the public and be a resource. So if you'll look on our website, the main tagline has been and never will change. It's a Gen 3 Hemi Swap resource. So first and foremost, we wanted to help the people, and we wanted to make this common knowledge, this information, to swap the modern Hemi engine into a classic vehicle. That's really where it all started. This information wasn't available out there. The Mopar community at that point in time was tight-lipped around this. The individuals that did do it, it seemed like they weren't willing to share as openly as, say, the GM market, and that's something we wanted to change. We wanted to bring that to the Chrysler, the Mopar market, and that's what we did. It started very simply. We had a very very basic website where we shared ECM pinouts, a rough step-by-step guide on how to do the Hemi swap, and we learned a lot along the way. We're still learning to this day little quirks and changes from year to year, and how to get things done on a budget, how to make things happen without having to really blindly turn over your money and not understand what's going on. That's where the whole passion and the drive came from, is to help the individual, help the user do this swap, get them out on the road. That does a couple things. It saves money. For all of us building hot rods, that's hard to come by. Two is it helps us push the aftermarket demand. So the more people doing these swaps, the more of a market demand there is for companies to provide better parts. So new oil pans, maybe new control modules, new any type of accessory, intake manifolds, you name it. It's really a limitless effort when we really get the customer demand there, and that's going to help us all out. Back in the day, they only had one or two oil pans to choose from. Now they have half a dozen. So things like that is really what's going to continue to push this market, and that's what we want to help with. We want everyone to be able to do it. Moving on and moving forward to what we're at now with our new version of our website, we've kind of had this transition, and we've known that we couldn't sustain our previous model where we were just kind of this tech line answering questions at all hours of the night and whatnot. We needed to be able to be organized with that, so that we could really do the research and push the development of more information, getting it to you quicker. So we would have never been able to touch the new stuff, the new, say, the 2011s through the 2018s, if we were still answering questions and really being solely focused on the older Gen 3 Hemis. And by bringing some products to market that are problem solvers and very budget friendly, we're able to take some of that money and spend it on things that allow us to do more research and get these new tutorials to you, these new tips, these tricks and insights. And that's really how this whole business model developed, is let's sell or offer something that really helps the Hemi swapper do what they need to do in a very economical way, and then take that money, to push ourselves to improve our services and improve the level of technical help that we can give you guys and girls. And that's really where we are right now as Gen 3 Hemi resource. That's where we are. We are DIY Hemi, the resource to help you get where you need to be, and that's what we want to be for here on out.